Hey, it's Ron, and I thought I'd share something about what I'm practicing right now with you. And it's really about perspective in practicing, because let's face it, particularly if you're watching this and you're an adult, say over the age of 25, you may not have the healthiest perspective on practicing all the time. And we can be a little self-defeating, you know, just in a little way, even though we love music. So here's my situation I'm going to share with you, and maybe it'll help you out too. So I love Bach, and this is the Art of Fugue. I don't really know these pieces as well as I know the Bach Preludes and Fugues from the Well-Tempered Clavier, which I played in college and for the last 30 years or so, off and on. I don't really have them all up to tempo at all, probably like 2, but I love those and I know those pretty well. I don't know these, although it's really great music, and I want to get to know it a little bit. So I have about a half hour now. I want to sit down and practice Bach. Okay, here's my situation. I'm not going to spend the time I need over a consistent amount of days, weeks, months to really master this stuff at tempo, where I can just, really just fly through it and everything's all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted and my phrasing's right and I'm playing with finger legato and all that. It's not going to happen. If I devoted my whole life to playing Bach, it could happen, but it's not going to happen because I do a lot of teaching, I spend time with my family, I also play a lot of jazz and rock and all different types of music, and I like to improvise. And I have chosen not to spend 5 hours a day playing Bach in order to get it to that level. So even if I did learn a piece really well, which I have done with the first one in here, I'm not going to be able to play it as well next week. And a lot of people get frustrated with that. I don't get frustrated anymore because I can still get something from the music, and I've just realized that's the reality. It's a fantasy to think that I'm going to learn something like really well in that sense, and then come back to it next week or the week after and still be able to keep it at that level. It's not going to happen. So, and that's not defeatist, it's just the way it is, and I can still get an incredible amount of enjoyment and feeding my musical soul from playing Bach. That's what I'm going to show you how to do. So it's turning what could be a negative into a positive. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to reorient my goal. My goal isn't so much to play it and then get the left hand going and the right hand at tempo and then start putting it together. Not in this case. My goal is going to be to listen to the music. And I can listen to the music, not knowing it too well, when it's slower, and just absorb it. Hear the intervals, hear these. I just made that up, but that's kind of like this music, right? And I can really hear how one line's going up, one's going down, experience it on a much deeper level than I normally experience music. I can do that even right now, not having enough time to practice it or making it my priority and not being able to stay with it over time. So I'm going to start with just the beginning, and it's in cut time, but I'm going to count it in 4/4, and I have no problem doing it slow like that. Resolution, now go somewhere else. Bring in the second voice. Ooh, beautiful fifth. Not even doing the trills. Oh, see, it's like jazz. It goes up to the flat 9. was a fifth higher than he started. He started in D minor, so resolves. And it was actually really hard for me to stop, but I didn't know if you'd want to watch me take, you know what, this is 5 pages, 6 pages long. That's going to take like, that'll be the next half hour to just go through it one time. But you see the point. It's taking what seems like a limitation. I don't have the time, I don't have the energy to devote just to this, to really get it to a, you know, professional or very high level, which is really what we're taught to do, you know, play it like this, practice. But I think you get the idea. We can experience part of it, an aspect of it, the way the notes fall together and the way the lines feel under my fingers and the harmonies. We can experience that on a much deeper level than we usually do, even while not being able to perfect it. So I'm going to keep practicing this and give it a try at whatever music you're working at. Enjoy. I'm going to pick up right where I left off.